Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here, and in today's video, I'm going to share the, in my opinion, top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Draw engines. So I don't mean draw cards like Pot of Desires, I just mean like engines that different decks have access to. I thought this would be kind of fun to talk about because drawing cards is a big deal in Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's hop right in. So coming in at number 5 is the Fluffle Wings plus Toy Vendor combo. Now I'm no Fluffle player, so I'm kind of going off of like memory with this, but Toy Vendor, the continuous spell. Once per turn, you can discard a card and draw one card, and if it's a Fluffle monster, you can reveal it, and then you get to special summon any monster from your hand. In addition to that, if Toy Vendor goes to the grave, you're able to like search a Fluffle or an Edgemp Saber, I think. So yeah. Not too bad. Then there's Fluffle Wings. When it's in your graveyard and you control Toy Vendor, you can banish Fluffle Wings and another Fluffle monster from your grave to draw a card. And then you can also send the Toy Vendor to the grave to draw another card. So the way that this ultimately works is, with Toy Vendor, ideally you'll discard Fluffle Wings, get to draw your card, and you know, it can be whatever, and then you get to summon your Fluffle monster. Then you can use Fluffle Wings effect, banish itself another Fluffle, draw a card, send Toy Vendor, draw another card, and then Toy Vendor's effect searches another Fluffle. Now, Fluffles are crazy. Like I said, I don't play them, but I've played against them enough to know that this deck has search power out the wazoo. I mean, heavens forbid when we get Fright for Patchwork. But these are a lot of cards. This is a lot of draws. And I mean, you know, I think like it's totally balanced. I'm not saying this is like unfair or anything, but it's just, you know, I do think that it's a great way to draw a lot of cards really quickly. Now, the weakness, of course, is that it is a little bit situational. I mean, like, you have to have the Fluffle Wings along with the Toy Vendor, so, you know, there's that. And, like, Fluffle Wings on its own isn't, like, the most useful card, whereas Toy Vendor, at least, is still decent. So, yeah, but that comes in at number 5. Number 4 is Performapal's Lizard Draw and Guitardle. So, I know especially a lot about this because I've been playing against Alex's Performapal deck loads, and it's pretty annoying. But, yeah, so basically Performapal Guitardle, if it's in your Pendulum Zone, when you activate another Performapal monster in your other Pendulum scale, you get to activate Guitardle's effect and draw a card. And then with Lizard Draw, if that's the one that you activated, Lizard Draw, if you have another Performapal in the other scale, then Lizard Draw can send itself to the graveyard to draw a card. So this ultimately results in 2 draws. So you might be thinking, well, why is this even like more than the Fluffle combo? I mean, it's technically not as many draws, and you'd actually like, kind of lose more cards in the process. But the thing about this is a really easily searchable play. With Skull Acrobat Joker at 3 and Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer, of course, always it's kind of been at 3. It's really easy to search this out, and it's just a quick way to get a lot of stuff in your extra deck, get a lot of free draws. Both those cards are searchable, and you know, it's really crazy. It's a combo that I get really triggered because it's just like, so many free cards, and like, the thing about it is like, you'd think it's kind of easy to stop, but like, it's never really like the main play of a Performapal player's turn. So it's like, if you say Ghost Ogre it, that oftentimes isn't gonna like end their turn or really shut anything down. It just kind of prevents the draws. And since we're at it, I mean, Performapal Lizard Draw in general can actually get you a lot of cards. It's like, if you summon it, like Pendulum summon it out, and then other things get destroyed, then it also gets you some free draws. Not directly related to the combo here, but just thought I'd throw that out there. So yeah, number 4 is the Performapal Draw combo. Coming in at number 3 right now is True Draco Heritage. This annoying continuous spell that's played in an annoying top tier deck can draw you quite a few cards. Basically, you're able to draw a card for every True Draco card that got sent from the field to the graveyard this turn, including your opponent, so in the mirror matching, a little crazy. And if you know anything about, you know, True Dracos, you'll know that that's not really a hard thing to do, because you're usually sending, you know, your spell and trap, your True Draco spell and traps, attributing them off to summon, you know, like your True Draco monsters, Masterpiece, and you know, Ignis Heat and Dynamite Knuckle and all those guys. So yeah, this can net you like 1 draw, it can net you like 3 draws, and you know, considering that there's also things like Dragonic Diagram that are gonna be sending them to the grave and all of that, it's like, man, you really can get quite a few draws from this. And the most annoying part is that this also has the secondary effect of like giving you the extra tribute summon and all that, and in a deck that already kind of searches so much with the diagrams, with the True Dracos, and you know, all of that, I think that this And then plus, you know, if you're thinking demise variants, right? Running like Pot of Desire sometimes, Card of Demise, Dualities, all those extra draws, it can just get like overwhelming with how many free cards a true Draco player can get. And I put it above the other two because it's kind of like a single card combo in a sense. Like you don't really have to have two specific things. It's just, you know, free cards. Number 2 is the Balaban engine. So this really is just like 3 Balaboons, and it's technically not like actually a bunch of plusy draws, but it's a really damn good card. So Balaban, when it's normal or special summoned, lets you draw a card and then choose any other card in your hand and place it on the top or the bottom of the deck. So the value here is that you're really kind of able to filter through your hand. Like you dig through your deck, get a card, and then look at your hand and be like, okay, what of all these cards do I want to put on the top or the bottom? So you can stack something on the top that you want to draw next turn, or you can, you know, just if it's like a bad card, a dead card, something you need returned to the deck, like say a Gem-Knight Garnet or something like that, you could also put it back on the bottom. Another example, I guess, like that Darlingtonia Cobra, like those types of cards. So yeah, this is great. Now the other thing about Balaban though is when it's destroyed by battle or a card effect, and not even have to be sent to the grave, it's when it's destroyed, you get to summon up to 2 other Balaboons from your deck, and then they both get their effects because there's no like once per turn on this card. That is where the things can get really crazy, because when you start destroying this card with something like Dragonic Diagram or, you know, something like Sky Iris, right? You're able to really get quite a few draws off of this thing. And they're not, like I said at the start, they're not all pluses, because technically you're drawing a card but then you're losing a card. But that's a lot of like, you know, digging into the deck and kind of filtering your hand out to get exactly what you need. And because this engine also results usually in a free rank 3 monster afterwards, like an Invoker or a, you know, a Breaksword or a Grand Pulse, I think that it just, the general usability of this engine, and it's proven by its popularity, puts this at number 2 on the list. And the last card, which is limited and not like super relevant today, but I think that it's just so powerful it deserves the number 1 spot, is Pantheon of the Monarchs. This card during Monarch format, like literally just triggered me super hard. Basically, you know, discard a Monarch spell or trap and you draw 2 cards. So like super just great, strong, generic draw card. But in addition to that, you can then use Pantheon's effect in the grave to like banish it or something, and then you get to select 3 Monarch spells and traps, and your opponent picks one, and then it gets like added to your hand. It's, you know, I never honestly thought Konami would make such a just powerful, like play and profit card. It's purely a +1 and one of just the best +1s. I mean, in this deck's prime and Monarch's prime, you know, with Erebus and Ether and stuff, it was crazy how consistent the deck could honestly be. I mean, like you activate Pantheon, you pitch something like the Prime Monarch or whatever. I mean, all the spells are useful in your grave anyway. They have second uses. And you get to draw cards just for free, and then you get to use Pantheon's effect to like duality out another card. And I just think it's crazy. Again, like I said, it's not like as relevant today because it's limited and that deck isn't as strong, but I think that the sheer power of like packing that much into a single card, technically it's a 2-card combo because you have to have something to discard, but I mean, how hard is that in Monarchs really? So those are, in my opinion at least, the 5 best draw engines in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I said, this excludes things like Card Demise, things like, you know, Pot of Desires, those sorts of cards. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. What other draw engines are really good? I mean, there are loads of ones that I left out. I thought about, you know, Necroz of Valkyris or like Dark Lord Ixchel. I mean, there's plenty of stuff we could use here. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you loved it. This is the summer of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I'm uploading a new video every single day. So if you missed yesterday's, be sure to check it out and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's. Got a special giveaway coming at 70,000 subs. I'll give more details when we get there. And that's going to be it. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.